WeatherXM just went live with the new WXM token. In this video, we're going to analyze my current earnings and look at my airdrop I received for being early to deploy a WeatherXM weather station. But first, let's start off with a little background. What is WeatherXM? WeatherXM is a community-powered weather network that rewards weather station owners and provides accurate weather services to individuals, businesses, and research organizations. It is a global project, but as you can see based on their Explorer, most of the weather stations are currently deployed in the United States and Western Europe. It is still a very small project at this point, with only 4,858 active weather stations deployed across the globe, which means we are still very early to this project. To participate, you'll need one of their weather stations, which is currently priced at $400 for their Wi-Fi and helium versions, and $900 for their 4G LTE version. I personally have the Wi-Fi model and I have it mounted on the roof of my house. It's been up there for a little over 2 years now and I've never had to troubleshoot it, restart it, or mess with it at all since I first installed it, which I can greatly appreciate. I can't say the same about many of the other mining projects I'm involved with. I have heard some issues with people having connection issues with the helium model, so if possible, I would recommend the Wi-Fi model. New orders made today will be delivered in July, so it's not a big wait at this point. A link to purchase and a 5% off coupon code will be in the description below. Next, let's look at what we're earning with our weather station, and that's the WXM token. WXM is an ERC20 token deployed on the Arbitrum 1 network, which is a layer 2 built on the Ethereum network. It's got a total supply of 100 million tokens, 55% of which go to reward us station owners. 3% of that 55% in station rewards are the airdrop beta rewards for us early adopters. Those rewards are paid out daily for the first 425 days after the WXM token went live, which was just last week. More on how much I'm earning with those beta rewards here shortly. 30% of tokens are allocated to initial supporters and investors of the project, 10% go to a DAO, and 5% go towards token liquidity support. All the tokens will be distributed over the next 10 years, which is a lot of inflation in a very short amount of time, which obviously concerns me. Of note here, the initial investors tokens unlock over a 4-year period with 1-year cliffs, and the treasury shares unlock over 5 years. So good to see the only substantial pressure we could see here over the next year are from the actual station owners selling their tokens. Now, unfortunately, I don't see anything in their tokenomics section of their white paper about a burn mechanism at this point. Other deep-in projects such as GeoNet and HiveMapper have recently implemented burn mechanisms on their projects. What this usually entails is when revenue comes into a project, a portion of that revenue is used to purchase tokens on the open market and burn them out of circulation. This is very similar to when a company implements a stock buyback program. We may be too early for this still for WeatherXM, but I hope they do consider adding one in the future. If we go over to CoinGecko, the WXM token is currently trading for 88 cents. And that's when I'm filming this video here on June 8th. It did just start trading last week. If we look at the all-time highs, it did hit an all-time high on its launch day on May 30th of $2.38. Now they've got a market cap here listed of $48 million, but I believe that is incorrect. Their circulating supply, I think, is incorrect here. And really at this point, it should just be the initial liquidity. So 5 million tokens plus whatever token rewards have been paid out at this point. I think if I looked at the Explorer earlier, and I think the total circulating supply at this point should be about 5.2 million tokens. So a market cap of probably just under 5 million at this point. Here are the current markets where the token is trading. We have Uniswap, Gate.io, MEXC, and Bitmart. I know several of these aren't accessible from the US currently, so I'll show you an easy way to sell your tokens without using an exchange here shortly. Next, let's talk earnings. And yes, of course, I built a spreadsheet. I will start off looking at my earnings, and then I'll also break out what the earnings would look like if you were to purchase your own WXM weather station at this point. So my WeatherXM rewards per day, I'm currently earning a base reward of 2.66 WXM tokens per day. Now that it is only 85% of the maximum 100% per day. The app says I have a data quality issue that I need to resolve, so I need to look into that. Hope I can get that resolved shortly. Then I have a boost, which is my beta user rewards of 2.85 WXM tokens per day. Now I've had my station up and running, I believe, just over 2 years now. So I think I'm earning almost maximum beta rewards. So that's contributing to those additional rewards I'll earn every day, and I'll earn them for 425 days after token launch. So at this point, it'll be another 417 days of earning that 2.85 tokens per day. So total tokens per day is 5.52 WXM tokens. If we take that times the current price, we're looking at earnings of $4.86 every single day. Not too shabby, right? Now, if you were to spin up your own WeatherXM weather station at this point, and let's assume you get 100% data quality and you don't have the issue that I have at this point, you're looking at about a 3.13 WXM tokens per day. Obviously, you're not going to earn beta rewards because you weren't involved with the beta program, but even at the current prices, you're looking at $2.76 per day, which isn't too shabby for a $380 device. We look at that compared to the cost, you're looking at break-even days of 137.6 days, or just 4.5 months at this point. And I think that's actually quite good in terms of break-even and pretty reasonable at this point. Now, if you find this type of analysis helpful, do me a huge favor and hit that like button for me. Thank you. Now, I was going to give you a tutorial on how to claim and sell your WXM tokens. I recorded the other day while I figured the whole process out, but I jumped a lot in between my phone and my computer, and it made it really confusing to follow, so I decided to scrap it from this video. I since found that WeatherXM has their own tutorials, which would have been very helpful for me, which I will link in the description below. Now, once you successfully claim your WXM tokens and you have some ETH in your wallet for gas fees, you can easily swap your WXM tokens for ETH right in your MetaMask wallet. I'll put it up on the screen now, just a screenshot of me doing it myself. Which brings me to the pros and cons I see with WeatherXM. We'll start with the pros. First pro I see is the cost and ability to repurpose your device. When you're purchasing one of these weather stations, you're getting an actual weather station that you can use to actually monitor your actual weather. Similar weather stations are currently going for about $130 on Amazon. Those Amazon weather stations obviously aren't going to earn you any crypto. There's also opportunities where you could dual mine using your WeatherXM weather station with projects such as the Fry Foundation. I actually did a video on just that a few months ago. I'll link that in the description below if you're interested in learning more. The point is, the $380 price point for this device is actually quite low when you consider its earnings, its resale value, and the potential to repurpose this if needed in the future. Second, as far as mining projects go, this is about as passive as you're going to get. No ongoing maintenance or troubleshooting. It's just set it up and forget it. Plus, there's no ongoing expense or electrical costs. It's just a couple AA batteries you may need to replace on the weather station every few years. Third, although we have now gone live, I think we still are very early to this project, especially when you consider there are still less than 5,000 of these weather stations active around the globe. I think this presents a good opportunity for those of us who are paying attention and willing to jump in. But obviously, this is not financial advice. Next, let's touch on a couple things I don't like about this project. First, I don't think the tokenomics are great. There's a tremendous amount of inflation coming for the WXM token in the coming years, which will put pressure on the token price. But that same can be said for almost all crypto mining projects. They are just not great long-term holds, in my opinion. That's why I don't like to buy any of the tokens on the projects I mine. Well, except for Bitcoin. I'd rather buy some relatively cheap hardware, mine early, take profits, and still maybe hold a small moon bag to participate in the upside. Maybe I'm being just too cautious, but that's generally my approach. Next, I think this is still very much unproven business model. Will they be able to build a network large enough where there will actually be real value in the weather data they're compiling? And if you zoom into the map of the US, it still looks quite bare at this point. So being 2 years into this, they still have a lot of work to do. And more importantly, if they do build a network, will there be businesses and governments willing to pay for this weather data? Or will this just be the next Helium, a global network that nobody uses?